and welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon, and I am here a little sick this week, but powering through, and with my dear friend Angelica, who just got off a plane. Angelica, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing okay. A little tired, but I've got my shiny necklaces on to give me strength.
They look great.
Thanks. They always do.
Awesome. Yeah, we've got a very special episode for you guys this week. Before we get started, I did want to say that we mentioned at the end of last week's episode that we would talk about Olympic opening ceremonies if need be. But there wasn't a ton of K-pop. There was an allusion to it in that video where the kids were like going in through the future portal, and there was some K-pop played during the parade of countries. But it has been confirmed that EXO and CL of 2NE1 will be performing at the closing ceremonies. So we'll be back to do a bonus episode.
Very exciting. Honestly, didn't even watch the opening ceremonies, so I have no comments.
It was rough
this time.
Katie Couric really butchered every Korean word that she felt like she needed to say. It was rough. Oh, yikes. So anyway, aside from that, we've got a really special episode today because it's Valentine's
Day episode.
Oh, it's Valentine's Day. This is an episode that I feel like we probably wouldn't have done for like at least 15 more episodes because this is like some advanced stuff here, but I couldn't resist like this special drop day.
Yeah, advanced in the sense that like you need to know some people.
Yeah.
But that's kind of all you need to know. And I think it's still like humans love to gossip, and that's essentially what this whole episode is going to be. It's just like idol gossip.
Yeah, that's what I was
kind of.
Would
be a pun with the word idol.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Good. So it should be fun regardless, even if you don't know who these people are. But also, you'll get a lot of new names that you can go home and look up.
Yeah, great. All right, so we got to start off right at the beginning. If we're talking about love, you got to start like right at the beginning before you even like meet a person, how you like decide what kind of person you love. And there is like we talked a couple weeks ago about looking up groups' member profiles. And a thing that's often listed on a member profile is an ideal type.
Yes. That's a question that gets asked very often of celebrities, just like what kind of person are you attracted to? But what I find interesting always with K-pop idols is that when they get asked their ideal type, they name a specific person. They're like, I like a person with a big smile, but also like Minho of SHINee or whatever.
Right.
Like they always name a very specific person.
Or there were times like I remember it coming up on a We Got Married episode that like a music show or whatever had like a bingo grid of a bunch of pictures of idols, and they made everybody like circle their ideal type, and it was like a thing that this couple got in a fight about later. So sometimes idols are very specifically other people, or idols. Ideal types are specifically other idols.
But they also usually include like a specific characteristic, whether it's physical or personality.
Sometimes they're just like real basic, like I'm like a girl with long hair.
Yeah.
And a nice smile. Like, okay. But did you find one I know that's kind of weird is Yoonji from A-Pink, who we brought up in like our trainee episode. She said before that her ideal type is a guy with bad teeth.
Yes.
Like she finds that charming.
She likes a guy with crooked teeth. So if you ever watch her drama, which is called Reply 1997. She's the lead actress in it, and she names, because she likes guys with crooked teeth, her co-star So In-guk as one of her ideal types.
Yeah. Oh, this is a fun crush story. One time he was on a show where it's like a taxi cab confessions-y type show, and they brought up like, you guys had such good chemistry on that show, like, oh, and you sang that song together and it was so good. And he was like, yeah, I like her. And they were like, you should call her right now. And then he called her and he's like, hey, it's me. I like you. And she's like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Like, please don't ever do this again. And she like shuts him down so hard, and it is really rough.
Oh no, that makes me so sad. Oh, that's a really big bummer. So I'm going to bring the mood up with this like funny ideal types. Okay, so this what am I saying? Lee Jun. He's a South Korean actor, but he's best known as being a former member of the group M Black.
Okay. That's the one that ends in a Q, right?
Yes,
like
MBLAQ, M Black. So he mentioned in a TV program that he likes girls who have eye smiles, but his example of a girl with a pretty eye smile that he liked is Big Bang's G-Dragon.
Oh.
Which, for those of us who are listening and don't know who that is a man. Mm-hmm. G-Dragon is a man. And so from that day on, G-Dragon is Lee Jun's ideal type. That's who he always lists. And they have had different episodes or whatever where like they both went on Weekly Idol Lee Jun went on Weekly Idol. And they made him call him on the phone. Anyway, so that one's fun because it's a little different and idols don't usually make gay jokes, so that's interesting. Then there's Super Junior's Kangin, I don't know. I'm not a big Super Junior fan, so I don't know who that is. But he is famous for first checking if a girl has pretty feet in order to judge her as attractive or not. And apparently, he will say that even if she's not particularly good looking in the face, he will still be attracted to her if she has pretty feet. So that's grosses me out. But he even says she doesn't have to be nice and should know how to say mean things when it's necessary. So he's probably a big fan of his bandmate Heechul because he's a jerk.
Yeah.
Anyway, then there's GOT7's Jackson, one of our favorites, in the TV show Roommate, which is a show that Shannon and I love. Jackson revealed that his ideal type is MMA fighter Song Ga-yeon. And when he met her in real life, he asked her to give him a kick to feel her strength and had to go into his room to cry in pain because she is truly very strong.
She really is.
Then let's see, I think this is my last one, and this will be a good segue into our next segment, which will be about scandals.
Wait, I have one more thing before we get there, but please lead this anyway.
Well, I feel like you should talk about that. All right, fine. My last one is Sully, who is from a group named FX.
Okay, yes.
That is no longer together.
This is coming up later for sure.
Yes. So she described her ideal type as a dynamic duo's choice. Sure. I don't know. What? Say that again?
Cheda.
Okay. So she had apparently named him as her ideal type many, many times for many years. And then later it was revealed that they're actually in a relationship, which was a huge scandal. And we will get into that in just a moment.
In just a moment. I just had one more segue until we get into full dating scandals. And that is some fun Korean slang for you, which is a sum, which is short for something. And this is a type of relationship that's the step before you actually decide to be dating or boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever. I know when I was in high school, we called it talking.
Yeah.
It'd be Katie and Bobby are talking right now.
They haven't actually gone on a date. They probably haven't even admitted that they really like each other, but they're flirting, and they would be hurt if somebody else flirted with them.
And there are always constant rumors of some relationships, and it's probably the more likely type of romantic relationship that idols are getting into, because this is something we didn't talk about at the start, but some companies write no dating clauses into people's contracts because fans don't like it. That will be a huge topic of running theme of today is fans do not like their idols being in romantic relationships.
They don't.
All.
On the one hand, for me as an international fan, I find the extremes that this gets taken to very unbelievable and absurd. But ultimately that dislike from the fans comes from this idea that your idol persona is for the fans. And so you are supposed to dedicate your your Instagram is not a personal account because you are an idol. So your Instagram is for the fans. It's for you to be able to communicate with the fans. So don't put a picture of your girlfriend up there or whatever.
Right.
They will get real mad.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so definitely there's lots of people think that when there are events like music shows where everybody's like hanging out in waiting rooms backstage, or this big competition they do like the Idol Athletic Championships where all these idols are just like hanging around each other like for long periods of time, everybody thinks that lots of like some relationships get started that way. But if an idol found their special someone and they like wanted to go on a date, but they're technically like not allowed to, or like shouldn't be doing that kind of stuff, where do they go on dates?
Apparently they do it in their cars.
Yep. That was confirmed by, now I can't remember who said it, but that idols date in cars, and that there's like a certain parking lot on the Han River that everybody like goes to like go make out in a car because no one can see you. And another one is there is a Korean celebrity. His name is Hong Sok-chun, and he used to be on a sitcom in the 90s. And then it was like revealed that he was gay, and he lost his job and was kind of like ostracized from entertainment. And he decided to like brush himself off by like becoming a restaurateur. And there's a neighborhood in Seoul called Itaewon, and it's like near the American military base, and it's kind of like the international hangout in Seoul. And in the 80s, it was where all the like secret gay clubs were. And so he has like 10 restaurants in this neighborhood, and they're all like right next to each other. Like when I was walking through Itaewon, there would be like a Thai restaurant and his giant picture of his face on the front. And then across the street, it's like the Chinese restaurant and a giant picture of his face on the front. Like he like owns that neighborhood. But all of his restaurants have like secret rooftop rooms and secret back entrances. And he's known to like help people out.
He's the idol Cupid.
Yes. And he like has a secret place for people to like go on nice dates.
That's pretty adorable.
So that's kind of great. But
yeah, I mean, it's hard, like when you're so famous and like, you know, you need to keep your relationship a secret for X, Y, and Z reasons. Where can you go? You know, like you need someone on the inside to help you like sneak up to the rooftop for some private date. Even if the person that you're going on a date with isn't a celebrity.
Right.
Like you can't go in public.
Yeah. Because everyone's going to see you and take pictures of you and put it everywhere.
And it'll get you into so much trouble.
Yeah. So, hey guys, Shannon popping in here real quick with a post-edit note. In a second, I'm about to say reply all. That's incorrect. The name of the podcast is Radiolab. So if you want to check that out, Radiolab K-Paparazzi episode from February 2016. I will bring up another podcast because it's like important in the context of this, but they did it better than us, so I won't repeat them. But there's an episode of Reply All called K-Paparazzi. And it is about how the paparazzi industry began in Korea, and it's kind of only existed for like 7 years. Like they didn't do that before. Nobody was hiding in bushes and taking pictures of famous people. Like that just didn't happen. But then this one guy from a magazine called Dispatch decided to start doing it. And Jonghyun from SHINee was the first celebrity to ever be like outed on a public date with paparazzi pictures. And there is an episode of another podcast that covers this very well. It's very well researched. It's a good episode. Go listen to it. I won't try to explain it, but just know that paparazzi are kind of like a new concept. So a lot of these scandals that we're about to talk about were like people getting caught by this like new budding paparazzi industry in South Korea. I don't even know where to start. I have like a couple.
Well, let's start with Sully because I already mentioned her. So
Great.
like Sully is was the youngest member, the maknae, of girl group FX. And obviously, like I already mentioned that this one guy.
I have all of the like dates and stuff in front of me. So Sully was like the youngest member of FX, cool girl group, kind of like futuristic fun. That was their image. And she was like in that like nation's little sister category. Like everybody loved her and thought she was so innocent and sweet. And she has like a big sweet smile.
Like
and
big
she's
dimples.
Yeah. So this guy that we brought up, Cheja from Dynamic Duo, it's like a hip hop duo that's like early second generation K-pop. He is 14 years older than her. So he was 34 and she was 20, and he lost his wallet. And somebody found his wallet,
and
there were pictures of her inside. And it was
not scandalous pictures.
No, they were
just
like photo booth
regular
pictures.
Like school, like not school pictures, but just like I went to the mall and got like a picture. Here you go.
And there were ones of them together, like those little photo booth, like sticker, whatever. So there was kind of no denying it. They like tried for a couple of days and like that didn't work out. But unfortunately, FX was in the middle of like promoting a brand new album, Red Light. And Sully couldn't take the pressure of everybody looking at her. And she like bailed on them mid promotions. So they had to like cut everything short. And that was kind of like the last that we've seen of FX, which is really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, they did they did do a comeback after after Red Light without Sully, like just with 4 of the remaining members. But it wasn't as successful.
It's good though.
It is good. I really love
It's called Four Walls.
It's great. It's a great song and a good album. But
yeah, then
they just sort of disintegrated after that. Like they just couldn't.
Yeah, they were always like a group that was not that greatly like respected or promoted by their company, and this was sort of like the last nail in the coffin, unfortunately. But this like wasn't the end. Like Sully didn't like leave FX and then just like disappear. Like then there were 2 solid years of nothing but Instagram drama. She just like decided, like it sort of seemed to me like everybody took everything from her and she was just like, you know what, like fuck y'all, like I'm gonna live my life now. So she just like sort of became like an Instagram star and would post pictures of like her in like lingerie in beds, or like weird pictures of her with like lipstick all over her face, or like she just got kind of like wild and all of the
she had like a little bit of an Amanda Bynes phase, I think like without hitting the true extreme,
without the like
Bynes,
drugs and throwing things out of windows, but like very
like,
attention seeking.
You know, she went a little off the rails. But wasn't there also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there like one of the reasons that this was so scandalous is not just because like there's a big age difference, and like not just because they you're smiling, so I know that you know where I'm going with this. Not just because they were in a relationship at all, but because this particular man is famous for a certain something.
Yeah, he's famous for like his whole career has just been like bragging about how he has like a monster dong. Like that's his whole thing.
So like suddenly the nation's little sister
like,
is like dating the dude with the big dick.
Who's like way older than her, and everyone's like, oh no, she's ruined. Like that was pretty much like the whole thing, is that everybody was like, now her entire image is ruined. But they broke up last year, and she seems to be doing better. She's like living in Cuba now and like taking dance lessons. She's still like all over Instagram, but she's having fun.
Living in Cuba?
Yeah, or she was spending like a crazy amount of time there the past couple of months.
Do your thing, girl, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
So yeah, that was a good one. Sully and Cheja. That was fun for everybody.
Except for maybe Sully.
Let's see. What else do I have on this list? Let's talk about this, because this was just like a quick flash, and everybody got real pissed and then forgot about it. Zico from Block B, which is like a hip hoppy type like boy band. He's a trash person, and I know we try to be like unbiased and educational on the show, but he's a trash person.
We hate him.
And then this girl Solhyun from AOA, which is like a cool, sexy like girl group. In August 2016, Dispatch just dumped like a bunch of photos and some GIFs of her running in and out of Zico's apartment building in like really tiny dresses that like barely covered her butt, with like no pants and like a hat and a mask on. And she would just like get out of cabs and like sprint into his house, and then like a couple hours later like sprint out to another cab. So they like dumped all these pictures, and she's running in all of them, and she has no pants on. So all of the like comments from everybody are like, where are her pants? Why is she running?
Yeah, like a poor girl went to all the effort to like get in and out as fast as she could, and little did she know that every pantsless moment was going to be documented.
Being photographed.
Poor girl.
Yeah, so, but I feel like in this case, like fortunately, he seemed to get a little more of the brunt of the criticism because people knew, like, hey, man, like, she's in a girl group and, like, her image is way more fragile than yours.
Yeah.
And, like, you should have been the
You
man in this
been the one going in and out of her apartment without your pants on.
Give her the garage code, like, something. Go down to meet her. Like, there had to be something that... So, like, while they both got all of the like, you know,
garbage
backlash that comes with these things, I feel like in this case, people were aware of the fact that, like, him as the, like, dude who already has, like, a screwed up image, like, should have handled this better.
Yeah.
But this relationship barely lasted 6 months because, woof. That's not how.
Whatever. He's terrible, so I'm sure she can do better.
Yeah. No, good for her. What else?
Kai Stoll.
Yeah, you want to do Kai Stoll?
Yes,
awesome.
because my heart hurts that they're
You're
not
still sad
together.
about it?
I just really love Kai, and I need him to be happy.
I know.
And sometimes he looks so sad.
So do you want to explain who these people are?
Okay, so Kai, also known as Kim Jong-in, also known as Nini, he is one of the youngest members of EXO. We've mentioned EXO many times. He's also besties with Lee Taemin, who's from SHINee, and he was dating for a long time. He was dating an idol named Crystal, who is also from FX. So the same group as Sully. Is Crystal no, Crystal's not the youngest because Sully is the youngest, right? But yeah, so
they got caught by Dispatch. They released it April Fool's Day 2016. So everybody was kind of like,
is this a joke?
It took like 2 weeks for anybody to decide whether or not it was a joke, because they picked like a weird day to like reveal it. EXO fans like immediately like just refused to believe that it was true. Like everyone just went into like full denial mode, and we're trying to figure out like what political scandal are they trying to cover up, like what like,
larger conspiracy,
who's gonna sue them, because there's like no way that this is real. And
right, because these human beings live in bubbles and they're not ever attracted to other human beings,
right? But yeah, everybody was like a little disappointed in them because they were being a bit more brazen than like.
Well, didn't they get caught making out in a car? Isn't that what the pictures were?
That's someone else. That's my number one on my list. Because that was the worst thing I've ever like experienced in my like years of K-pop. But they like the first time they got caught, they were like they went on a ski vacation.
Oh, that's right. In
like they went to like Switzerland or something. They went on like a ski vacation, and then they were at some hotel in Korea, and people took pictures of them making out in a jacuzzi. And then there was all this like drama with, this is all like clickbait, terrible drama. I'm just telling y'all, like, this is awful gossip mag stuff where
that's what this whole episode is about. We're talking about there was
a woman who worked at a convenience store and posted a picture of a receipt, and she claimed that it was the receipt from when Kai and Crystal had been coming in, and she sees them like every day. And on this receipt was like a crazy amount of like chips and ramen and like energy drinks, and then like several boxes of condoms. So everybody was like, bleh. And then everyone was speculating that they had rented an apartment secretly in the apartment building above this convenience store.
And they went in every single day to buy condoms.
Yeah,
every day, people.
Every day.
They need a lot of condoms.
Well, they're hot people.
They're so pretty, and they're one of the reasons that it breaks my heart to pieces. So like Kai and Crystal, once they got caught, they actually admitted their relationship, which is like not always what happens with when idols get caught. But they admitted their relationship eventually, and like were still together for quite a while. Then eventually, like they. Fairly recently.
In May.
Thank you. In May of 2017, they announced that they broke up because their schedule, the official reason is that like they never had time to see each other.
That is literally always the official reason.
Yeah. Which I don't totally doubt. Like they are very busy people, but it makes me really sad because like they're so pretty, and they are also the stars of like my favorite K-pop photo shoot of all time.
Yeah.
Which is, I can't even remember the magazine of it now. out. Shannon will be able to Google it as I explain what it is. But it's this gorgeous, like, Vogue style.
It was W Magazine.
Thank you. So W Magazine, W Korea did this gorgeous photo shoot with Taemin, Kai, and Crystal. And they are just like beautiful flowered children, like laying in meadows, like the three of them together. It looks like some sort of like, I don't know, like anime polyamorous dream. It's so pretty and they look so good. And I was like, how can you look at these pictures and not want these beautiful people making out with each other?
I don't
That's
know.
what
I don't
want.
understand anybody. I don't understand anybody. But like, yeah. And that photo shoot ended up coming back later because some of the other drama that was involved in this is like shortly after they got revealed, there were these really famous pictures of Kai at the airport and he's in a wheelchair and he has like a big old cast on and everybody thought that the cast was fake and that he was like desperately trying to get sympathy from people like because they were so mad about this being with Crystal thing. And then that photo shoot came up like many months later, where Kai was not on tour with EXO, or he was missing promotion somehow because of an injury. And somebody who worked at an escape room revealed all this CCTV footage of him and Crystal at an escape room and was like, here's what he's doing when he's not at a concert, like doesn't look so hurt to me. But his fangirls like actually came through and were like, hey, this video footage looks crazy. Also, this girl should not have released this. And it turned out that it was like that Taemin was there too. And it was like an escape room they had done after this photo shoot. And it was months and months and months old. And this person was just like pulling it out to start drama.
Stir shit up.
So Kai's fans like tracked her down and got her fired.
Good.
Because, yeah, you shouldn't be pulling that. You shouldn't
also
do stuff
don't
like that.
mess with EXO's fangirls because they will tear your
because
eyes
even
right
though
out.
they were like upset at this like dating, they were not going to have him be dragged through the mud like that.
No, and they also, I would assume, knew him well enough to know that he wouldn't fake an injury
Yeah.
just to see his girlfriend.
I refuse to believe
refuse to believe.
He would never. He would
Our
never.
Nene Bear has an integrity, damn it.
He does. Let's see. I have like a couple of by the way, these scandals that we're bringing up are idol scandals. There are plenty
idol
of others.
to idol, as in like two famous singer relationships.
Yeah, there were plenty of others that are like also very juicy, but they involve like athletes and actors and stuff. So I was trying to keep it K-pop focused this time. Let's see. I have written here that like Guhara from Kara and Young Jun Hyung from Beast, when they got caught by Dispatch in 2011, it was the first time that an agency put out a confirmation statement of people dating. Because that's part of it too, that sometimes gets fans real riled, is that like a rumor will start about a couple and an agency will be like, they're just friends. Mm-hmm. And then something worse will come out. And then everyone's like, they lied. Or the agencies will straight up be like, yep, they're dating. They've been dating for a long time. Please look upon them kindly. That's how all dating statements end. Like, just be nice to them.
Just be
please.
fucking nice.
Please. Yeah. So that was like the first time an agency got involved. Koonfani was kind of like a big one. Nikun from 2PM and Tiffany from Girls' Generation. They got caught in April also near April Fool's Day by Dispatch, and everybody just kind of rolled their eyes because fans had been saying they'd been dating for 4 years. Like,
amazing. That's my favorite thing about like dating scandals is the intensity with which fan theories are created. Like, there's an example of, and I don't believe it's Koonfani, but it is Koon and Victoria, right? Where they like Koontoria. So like the Nick Koon with a previous relationship.
This is these are ship names.
Yeah. So, you know, like Bennifer or whatever. So Koonfani was like the scandal or whatever. But Nikun was also on We Got Married with a girl, Victoria from FX. And there was like so many rumors about them actually dating because their love was
But there were also rumors that he was on that show in the first place to try and stop this Tiffany stuff because
Right.
everybody was like because it's like it's great when all these relationships get revealed because all of a sudden all these like fan cams and all this footage starts appearing. You can see people like staring lovingly into each other's eyes, and you're like, how didn't we see it before?
But the best part is when fans are like, no, look, like he's the one giving her the birthday cake in this Instagram photo, because if you zoom in and look at the reflection in the spoon, you can see his face upside down and tiny. And I didn't make that up. That's an actual example of a Kuntoria detail.
It wasn't Kun though. It was Victoria and Changmin from TVXQ. He was the one in the spoon.
Whatever. They're looking at people in spoons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Bottom
how
line.
intense it gets. I guess like that's a good way to bring us into what I think in my time as a K-pop fan was the most out of control like dating scandal blow up that I've ever seen. And that was the Taeyeon Baekhyun Oreo gate.
Okay, I saw your notes on this, and I don't understand why it's called Oreo Gate, because nothing in your notes included Oreos.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Is this
That's all.
yes
in
or
my
no?
head.
Are cookies involved?
Cookies are involved.
Okay,
Explain. So, our players here, we have Baekhyun from EXO. He's one of the main singers of EXO. He was in the K.
yeah.
The
We
Korean
mentioned
branch.
him during our training.
We've mentioned him like every episode.
True,
Why does
because
he come up so
because I
much?
can't stop talking about EXO. But we also specifically mentioned him because he had one of the shortest training times.
Okay. And then we have the leader of Girls' Generation, one of the greatest girl groups of all time, Taeyeon.
Also an excellent solo artist.
Great. June 2014, our old pals Dispatch released pictures of them kissing in a car.
They're the ones
This
making out
is
in a
where
car.
the car pictures came from. It was like after an EXO concert. So obviously everybody loses their minds because this was like the height of EXO's. Like when there are newer boy groups, they tend to have like the largest and craziest fan bases because like as the new hotness, they get like the young kids and like hormonal middle schoolers
And
are
like crazy to the point where like people are being chased in streets.
Right.
Like these fans get pretty bananas.
right. And we'll again like that's why
We'll
this
talk about that more in
this
like
is an
another
advanced episode. We're like getting ahead of ourselves. But yes, so and also at this time, the first lawsuit had hit EXO, and we said that we'll bring this up again.
We'll have a
but,
whole
like,
episode about EXO.
So the group is in turmoil, like very public, like legal, upsetting turmoil. And these pictures come out of like one of the, of a member making out with like a beloved
And I
girl
would
group
argue
star.
that Beck is kind of like the Justin Timberlake of the group in the sense that he is one of the more popular members. I mean, all the members are popular, but I feel like Beck has some of the most fangirls because he's one of the main singers in it.
Yeah, his voice is like kind of like we were talking about main vocalists and lead vocalists. I feel like he's the main vocalist because he sings the majority of stuff. So everybody completely freaks out at this news, and immediately fans start going back. And like we said, like they notice everything, they pay attention.
look for receipts.
You get an Instagram picture and you analyze
that
every
spoon,
moment.
man.
Exactly. So all of this proof starts to come out.
Quote unquote proof.
Quote unquote proof. One of which, like this is on an Instagram post that Baekhyun made, he spelled EXO using a Korean character that's like the sound for T, but it looks like a capital E, and then an X, and then a Korean consonant or like the symbol for like an NG sound, and it looks like a circle. So it was like EXO, but it was this like T and this NG, and her name
Oh
is
my
Taeyeon.
God.
So that was like the characters from her name. So he was doing that on purpose. Then they had all these side by sides of like different Instagrams of like both of them in white t-shirts, like in white sheets, like so they were taking like similar Instagram pictures.
Taking like couple photos that are like solo photos.
Yes. And then the Oreo thing was one day she posted a picture of like one Oreo on a table with like another Oreo just like catty corner leaning on it. And the caption was like, "Can't get you off my mind today." And people realized that Baekhyun, if you put his name in Chinese characters, it's black and white. And so, so fans were like losing their shit that they had found these incredibly clever ways to mention each other on their Instagrams without like outright doing it. But people were really, really mad because, like you brought up earlier, she said, and Helga is just like frozen with like the craziest look on her face right now.
I am utterly flabbergasted that someone would. I don't even know where to begin unpacking this Oreo thing. Like, the level of intricacy that the code had to be so that like he would know it was for him, but also just the reality that these are the lengths that they had to go to just so she could, like, bitch, text him. Like,
Yeah.
just say I'll miss you. Like,
Right.
What?
I get it,
What?
but I also get that like desire to just like, you know, when you like are first dating somebody and you like really want to like show, like I remember in college being very obsessed with like being in a relationship you could make Facebook official. You know what I mean?
No.
I've
never been in a Facebook relationship.
That's fair.
Even in a long-term relationship where I lived with that person, we were not Facebook official.
Okay,
Like,
so this is just for me then. Well, I feel like I understand like wanting, like I think it's sad that they have to hide this stuff.
yes, it's utterly depressing that they need to come up with such an intricate code in another language that also, like, a code that involves a different language and desserts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Yeah. So
Korean government hire them as like code breakers. Like, this is insane.
yeah. So okay. So people were very upset because she had said that, like, I made an Instagram for my fans and it's just for my fans. So they were like, this is not for us. And then people were mad.
These cookies are not for us.
And then people were mad at him because he had said on like a radio show or something that he wasn't going to date until he was 35. So they were all like, he's betraying us. And we're laughing.
He's not dating you, fangirl.
Right.
Calm down.
So then after this news breaks, he's hosting Inkigayo, which is one of the like music shows. And every time he is on screen trying to introduce the next artist, fans are chanting traitor in the audience. So loud you can hear it on the broadcast. So then later, Taeyeon is at the airport coming back from some kind of Girls' Generation thing. And if you've ever seen videos of idols at the airport, it's the worst thing in the world.
It's so claustrophobic, it gives me a panic attack.
But
just,
they're like trying to
watching
lead,
it happen.
they're trying to lead all of Girls' Generation through the airport in their way. And she just runs sobbing in tears to the wave of fans and is screaming at them like, please, like, listen to me. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, she lost her shit at the airport and was like screaming, crying to all of the fans, like, please forgive me. And it was like,
God.
it was awful. It was awful. I had never seen anything like it.
Ugh, that's so sad.
It was sad. But the rumor has it they broke up like a year or two ago, but it was never officially confirmed by the company.
Yeah,
so
that's a good example of how like the company just chose to. This was probably such an intense scandal with so many different incidents that like the company was like, you know what, we're just not going to mention this at all. Like, let's just ignore this and hope it goes away. But it didn't go away because sometimes fans are a little crazy.
Yeah. So those are some dating scandals, but
I need happy news now.
Okay, well, I have
Give me success stories.
I have a happy news to end this whole thing with. So I'll tease right now if you're like getting depressed by this.
I'm depressed.
I promise the last thing that I have to say on this is going to like warm everyone's hearts and it's going to be good.
Fine, but you should have at least brought Oreos for me to eat.
I know, I'm sorry. We should have brought them up. I want Oreos now too.
I'm devastated.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about, we did some dating. So like now let's talk about an idol weddings, which are an even rarer occurrence than people being caught dating. And this is just people being caught dating, which is like, you know, it's like a fun, crazy thing that happens every once in a while. But most of the time, what you get out of idols is they're on a radio show or something, and then they reveal like, oh yeah, at the end of 2014 when we were promoting or whatever, I was going through a terrible breakup and I wanted to die. Like, it all comes out in the past, and like, and they never tell you who. Like,
yeah.
some people people are real good at keeping their secrets. And fans just usually get mad at people for getting caught. Like, that's usually what they're mad about.
We also did mention, I think in an earlier episode, that like Beck cannot keep a secret to save his damn life. He's just like constant on any variety show. He's just like airing out member dirty laundry, like his own members. It doesn't matter. He just loves to talk. So I'm not even shocked that like one of the worst dating scandals involved him, because like, of course it did. Yeah,
because I feel like the kissing pictures are in I feel like they're in a convertible.
Oh, come on.
If I can remember them correctly.
He's so dumb.
Yeah. Okay. So we're moving on to weddings. Now, the first K-pop wedding that like ever happened was in 2010. Shu from SES, which was like the first girl group, as we know, girl groups, first generation, early 90s girl groups. She got married to a basketball player in 2010. And it was like a huge deal because none of these K-pop idols had ever like dared to be like, I don't belong to you, public. Like, I'm going to get married and stop doing this, like, existing as like a character on a pedestal for you thing. And I think everybody took it generally okay.
Was she still an active pop star at the time, or had she already?
The group disbanded in 2003. So it had, so 7 years of just like, you know,
being a normal person.
Hosting. No, she was doing like hosting gigs and like, I don't know, the things that people do to just stay celebrities. But anyway, so that was like the first one. And like since then, most of the like first generation girl groups, like all of SES is married now. But like most of the dudes are not. Like most of HOT is like still, they're like 45, still single, not interested in it. Yeah. But so that was like the first one. And then the next like wedding was, let's see, in 2013, the leader of the Wonder Girls just abruptly like left the Wonder Girls to marry a missionary and just like devote her life to the Lord.
Oh.
Quit it all.
Bummer.
So
I like the Wonder Girls. They're cool. They're one of the only bands that actually plays their own instruments.
Yeah, that was a thing that came later.
But still makes K-pop and not like K-rock.
Right. Okay, and then this is one of my favorite stories ever. So there's a boy band. They were called U-Kiss. And in December 2015, one of their members, Eli, posted on Instagram and was like, hey, y'all, it's me, Eli. Just wanted to let you know that I've been married for like a year to a woman who's 11 years older than me, and we're going to have a baby soon. We've been together for 5 years. Just wanted to let y'all know that.
Just FYI, gonna be a dad soon.
And like people had like couldn't believe that like he had kept this a secret that long.
Take notes, Beck.
Yeah. So that it was like very shocking. And then that same year, another member of U-Kiss who had quit being in U-Kiss, who was like done with being famous, he got married at 21 years old in a shotgun wedding and was the official youngest idol dad. And he was on like Return of Superman once, and it was like really sad.
You said idol dad, and I thought you said idol dead.
Idol dad, idol dad.
Regardless, that's some roof stoof.
Yeah,
yikes.
Babies having
you
babies.
You promised me a happy ending.
Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, I have one more marriage scandal, and then I'm gonna, and then hope, and then we'll play our game, and it'll all be fine. Okay, so this is a good one that like continues to still be a problem. Sungmin from Super Junior, he did like a drama, and he like fell in love with the main actress.
Okay.
And in 2014, he was like, guess what, fans? Like, I'm getting married, and you can't stop me. And everybody was like really, really, really upset about it. And they kept claiming that they weren't upset that he was getting married, that wasn't it. They were upset that one of the members' dads had died recently, and it was unfair of him to like steal the spotlight by getting married, and that they were having a concert soon, and that it was distracting to the other boys for him to be getting married, and that fans had been asking him since he did the drama if he was dating this girl, and he said he wasn't, so he's a liar. And then when he was doing fan signs, he had like found a way to like cleverly work her initials into his signature, and people were like, we were asking for your signature, not hers. So they were mad at him for like an array of reasons.
Most of those reasons make me roll my eyes, but honestly, if like I asked for somebody's signature and they put in some stupid code about their girlfriend, I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I feel like that is the most egregious.
I would be real pissed about, like, fuck you, dude. I don't give a shit about your girlfriend. I'm your fan.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but that was like 3 years ago now. But still, Super Junior had their first comeback since they'd all been together in a really long time. And fans like wrote petitions and were like, he can't come. Like, we don't want him around.
He's married, so now he's ugly.
And he's betrayed us. And he was like, fine. He folded and he did not come back with Super Junior this year. He just didn't, which is crazy because there is another member of Super Junior who has a DWI problem, and they are not as concerned with that as they are this guy who got married and didn't handle it the way that they wanted him to.
But yeah, drive drunk and endanger all of our lives. That's okay.
That one's fine though. Okay.
We've mentioned a lot of different people. I feel like we need to mention that Super Junior is one of those groups that has like a fuck ton of members in it, because we've talked about like 6 different people in Super Junior, and that's not even all of them. So like we've mentioned a lot of Super Juniors because there's 12 of them.
I thought there were only 10. I don't know.
Only 10.
Only 10. I don't know. I constantly. Okay. All right. So we've just spent a lot of time talking about like poor kids, like having to sneak around to get some, and like everybody.
I'm crying and I have no Oreos to stop up my tears.
So here, let me leave us with this, what I feel is a ray of hope. Just last week, on February 3rd, Taeyong from Big Bang married his muse, actress Min Hyo-rin, and it was so beautiful. Mm-hmm. Like, this was like the first time that I've ever seen that an active idol was like, I love this woman and I'm going to marry her, and everyone was like, yay, good for you.
Yeah, it was also nice because of the way that he did it. Like, he did not announce it after the fact. He like made a post on Instagram of like a really cute picture of the two of them that had this really heartfelt long message about like, I love this woman, she makes me so happy, like she's my son, like blah blah blah, and like asking the fans for their blessing essentially. Like, that was the purpose of the message, was like, I've asked her to marry me and I hope that you wish us well.
Yeah.
And then they got married, and it's so sweet.
They met on
I love Taeyong.
They met on his music video set in like late 2012 for his music video 2 a.m. She plays like the girlfriend in that video, and they like hardcore make out on a motel bed in the video. And I guess when the video came out, everyone was like, whoo, fire. Like, I hope that like they're very cute together. And then like very immediately after, they got their like dispatch pictures revealed, which are them like walking in a park holding hands, and they like stop and he like ties her shoes. And so everybody was like, oh my God, everyone was on board like immediately for some reason, which is crazy because Big Bang is like one of the biggest boy bands of all time. They have such a huge fandom, and I don't know what it was. Was it just like the pureness and the honesty of this relationship?
That's my theory, because Big Bang is an interesting group in that they have like kind of a hard image, and some of their dating scandals have been truly scandalous.
Oh, yes.
Like, there's one we didn't mention, which involves a jizz rag. Isn't that Big Bang?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
we
like,
can get to that in another scandal.
we'll just throw that one out there. You can
look
fucking
it up
Google
yourself.
So Big Bang had a series of dating scandals that were like truly scandalous, like inappropriate sexual scandals. And then like Taeyong, who sings songs that the chorus is literally "I want you naked," he comes out with this quote unquote scandal, but it's so sweet and it's very sincere, and I think like that's almost just the side of him that fans always wanted to see. And so then to like see it be real and like be truly genuine toward this woman who he calls his muse. Like, I think it was just too heartwarming to get pissed over.
Yeah. So it was really beautiful. And they got married last week and the whole damn thing was on Instagram. There were like videos of dance battles happening at the reception and like pictures of all the famous people. Like it was magical. Like that is, I want 100 more of those.
Yeah, it was like the first truly public celebration of an idol's love.
Yeah, and I loved it. I loved it. So I truly hope that is like a sign of changing times and that like fans want to be reasonable and they want their idols to be happy because that is how I feel. Like I want these people to be happy more than they deserve love more than anyone. And they do. I mean, they work too hard.
If I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. But if all of these gorgeously talented people are not getting their dick sucked, what is this even for?
What is the point
what
of
are
the
we
world?
even doing? And I say that girls included. Like we're talking metaphorically here, but all of them deserve to be getting it on.
They do, and we hope they are, and we love them. Yep. So that was
We're here to support idols banging.
Yes, this podcast is pro idols banging. We want to make that clear. Oh,
yes,
God.
please.
Okay.
So don't take pictures of it.
No, yeah, don't be cool, guys. Be cool. Okay. So that was like our fun Valentine's love scandals,
love and heartbreak
special. And
I
now
want a Keistel wedding.
I know. Maybe they'll get back together. You don't know, girl. You can hold out your hope. So we're going to play our fun new K-pop random game. And we've gotten some notes from listeners about how like we're missing important details by doing live Googling of this. So from now on, we're going to pause the recording. We'll be right back. You won't even notice. It'll be no time for you.
I mean, why mention it at all?
Because I just want people to know that we're doing research now.
We're also, I think it's important to know that we're listening to you.
We're listening to you.
You said don't do live Googling, so we won't.
So we're going to pause the recording, learn a little bit about our random group for the week, tell you what we've learned, and watch our video, and we will be right back. And we're back. And you didn't even notice we were gone because it wasn't a break to you, but it was a break to us. We did some Googling.
But now we're back.
So our random group that we got this week is called Tahiti.
Ta-da! It's Tahiti.
Tahiti. They are a girl group that were formed in 2012.
5 members currently.
Yes. And what we learned about them is that they were debuted to the world on a sitcom-style reality show called Ta-da! It's Tahiti.
Yes. Thus me saying that earlier. They're also from a label that we have never heard of before. They're from a really small company. This is a group that we were not familiar with, but they are still, so they're 2012 to present. They are still currently active. And they currently have 5 members.
What is
it say?
4 because
4. One of them just
left in December.
So they right now have 4 members. They also have 7 past members. So within their first year, they had changed almost their entire lineup for undisclosed reasons, I guess. Like people just left.
Yeah, it's showing like the Wikipedia was saying that like right after their TV show aired, like immediately after they finished airing the TV show, they had to be like, oh, 2 of those girls from the show have been replaced by these 2 girls.
Yeah, and their TV show came out before their first album came out. Yeah. So like the first album that debuted had members who were no longer a part of the group.
And then it just looks like every comeback after that for a while, there would just be members
that were
different,
gone.
Missing, replaced.
But I think the most interesting thing about them is this lovesick thing, which is it is lovesick, right? That's what it's called.
Yes.
Okay, so lovesick is luckily the video that actually is their most popular, but it is also a scandalous video apparently, because when did this song come out?
It says July 25th, 2013, and member Jin did not participate in the music video or any live performances due to the sexual nature of the concept as she was a minor.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I guess we should probably just watch this and see what this what happened to this underage kid couldn't watch this.
Yeah.
All right. So here comes Tahiti, Lovesick. Okay, we've got little black dresses, pink heels, empty warehouse with chandeliers.
Body rolls so far. Oh, you know what? It looks like those dresses are going to come off.
Yeah, they do have that like tear away, like on Game of Thrones when you can tell that someone's going to take their shirt off because it's like that wrap dress
wraparound dress
that comes apart. Yes, okay.
Does that one have a tattoo on her? Oh, here we go. Coming off. Oh. This dude in the video is way older than
I was like, the actor in the video looks like a dad.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say the same. All right, a lot of wide-legged choreography. Ooh, those are unflattering.
Ugh.
Those white, so they just switched into white dresses, and it looks like when Ariel comes out of the ocean
like in that sack,
and just like wraps a sheet around herself.
Okay, so there's 5 people in this video, so we're to believe at this time there were 6 members, but one. Oh!
The dresses are coming off.
When they pull the dresses off, it really does look like a big deal.
Yeah. What is happening in these?
Okay. The dresses are gone.
There's illusion netting in
and
the
like
outfits
little
underneath. So what this
LED wall, some kind of pleather looking
Quite
dresses.
honestly, these wraparound tearaway dresses seem very unnecessary. Because they cut away from them so quickly.
Yeah. Oh.
All right, back to the aerial sax.
I feel like choreo-wise, this isn't that. I've seen some very naughty choreo in my days, and this is not that.
To be quite honest,
I think it must just be the concept of the dresses
of taking
coming
the dresses off. I'm also currently looking up the lyrics.
Oh, they're showing all their names on a big board.
You know what's
them.
really disappointing, though, is that the outfits underneath the tearaway dresses are pretty ugly. Okay, it's definitely all in the lyrics.
Oh, is it? Well, you've got to share.
Should I wait until the song's over?
It's almost over. We have like 10 seconds.
Oh my God, I love it.
Hit us
okay,
with these
here
lyrics.
we go.
Oh, boy.
I'm an artist. I'll play you all I want, playboy. How should I scold you, bad boy? You swallow when it's sweet and spit out when it's bitter.
Oh my.
That is the first chorus, the first verse. We also have, let's see, where is it? It's how should I fix you up, bad boy? It's pretty expensive, but I won't accept payment.
Ooh, okay.
I'll hotly catch your eye. Woo, woo, woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yep, that's in the lyrics. Little by little, I'll sweetly steal your heart. You'll have a hard time. I hope that's an innuendo.
I hope so too.
Oh, but it ends with just, you will cling on to me, you will have a hard time, and then I'll just laugh at you, playboy.
Wow. All right.
Ta-da! It's Tahiti indeed.
Ta-da! It's Tahiti
My
indeed.
goodness.
Wow.
I love it. I love looking up the lyrics. I don't do it very often, to be totally honest. Like, sometimes I just don't feel the need to know. Like, you get the message of the song. I don't need to know exactly what's happening.
And sometimes the lyrics like really do ruin it.
It's true. Sometimes the lyrics are dumb, but sometimes they're like so scandalous that EXO does this a lot, where like you look up the lyrics and you're like, oh my, like clutch my pearls.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I hope that you guys all enjoyed this very special Valentine's edition of Ask Me About K-Pop. I hope it wasn't too gossipy or too steamy for your ears.
Listen to it while in a bath.
Yeah, I hope that's what everybody's doing, or driving to a good Valentine's date, or like at least eating chocolate. At the very least, you should all
eat
be
some
eating chocolate.
fucking
Or some Oreos. You need some Oreos. That's great. As always, you can find us at AMAK Kpop Pod on Twitter.
We didn't do our recommendations.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm so sorry. Backtrack.
Tahiti just done. Scrambled
my brain. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yes. So I am actually going to recommend a song that we mentioned earlier because he was our ray of hope in all of this scandal. I'm going to recommend Taeyong's Naked. It's from his most recent album, which is called White Noise, and it is a truly excellent song. Like, I'm not going to lie, I laughed out loud heartily when the chorus came on, but it is the best. I adore it, and it's a great song, I assume, to bang to. So I don't know that for sure. Never tried it, but I will someday, and I hope you do too. For Valentine's Day, put on some Taeyong.
Great. Good suggestion. And because we clearly are always on the same page, I also was going to recommend a Taeyong song today.
Yes.
So you could just double
Taeyong.
Up. So while Angelica recommended a dirty fuck jam, I'm going to recommend one of the best breakup songs of all time, which he sang to his beautiful bride at the reception of their wedding, just because it sounds good when he sings it. But the particular version of this song that I want people to watch is from a competition show called Fantastic Duo.
Excellent concept for a reality show.
Yeah, people could submit videos of them through an app, and then they get selected, and there's several rounds of competition wherein the winners get to perform a song with the original recording artist of that song, and then whoever wins that week, that track gets sold.
Right. So it's like a singing competition where fans get to compete to sing a duo or a duet with their favorite artist.
Yes.
Very cool.
So the Eyes, Nose, Lips from Fantastic Duo, it has 49 million views on YouTube, 1 million of which are from me, because I watch this constantly. I never get tired of it. It is so beautiful, and it has some of the best audience reactions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
They keep cutting to the celebrity judges in the audience, and people just have their hands on the side of their heads, and they look like they're in pain. They can't believe how great it is. So that's my recommendation. Taeyong, Eyes, Nose, Lips, Fantastic Duo.
Taeyong forever.
Yeah. Congratulations to Taeyong
and his beautiful new bride.
Love it. All right. So for real now, you can find us at AMAK Kpop Pod on Twitter.com. We also just got an Instagram this week. It's also AMAK Kpop Pod, AMAKKpopPod.tumblr.com for our links and everything we talk about. And you can email us, AMAKKpopPod@gmail.com. We have some episodes coming up that we are excited to do, but we need input from people who are not ourselves. So if you're out there, send us an email. We need some help from other people, other
do
K-pop
we have something
fans.
specifically that we're looking for?
I know that we need to talk about biases and
Oh, let's start there. So let's say what we'd really speaking of love and scandals, we would really love to do an episode about biases, meaning your number one crush. And so we would love to hear from you guys. Who are your biases?
who do you love and why? And then send us your favorite picture of them.
And do you have a bias wrecker?
Yeah, all those things. And if you don't know what that means, that's fine. We're going to get to it in another episode.
Literally,
but we just figured that y'all don't want to hear us talk for 45 minutes about the same two people. We need other input.
So tell us who you think is cute.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Please.
Also, thank you everyone who's left us an iTunes review. This is y'all are the best. I can't believe people are listening to this and you're all being really nice. So thank you, and we will see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye. Junghyun, you're our inspiration.